Welcome to the Kryptonaut Podcast. I'm Mark Storrs, and with me, as always, is
Crass
and
Rob Morphy.
Thank you for joining us. Social medias, the Instas, the Twitters, the Facebooks. Check us out there. Also, too, we have a Facebook fan page run by our good listeners. Check that out. The link will be in the description of this podcast. We also recently launched a Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/KryptonautPodcast.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all of our patrons, and be sure to stick around for the end of the episode. We got some Patreon shout-outs to do.
Absolutely.
Wicked.
Check out our TeePublic shop. We got some designs there. A little bit of a sneak peek on the Instagram for some upcoming designs.
Got some fun stuff on the
We
horizon.
got all kinds of neat stuff happening there real soon, so be sure to keep an eye on that. But moving forward, this week we're talking about the space demons of Devil's Swamp.
Just a fascinating,
Space demon.
bizarre-ass case.
Not long after the turn of the millennia, a solitary outdoorsman had the shock of his life when, while on a routine hunting expedition, he stumbled across what he believed to be the remains of a colossal carcass in a remote area of Louisiana known as Devil's Swamps. But as terrifying as the sight of those alleged remains were, it's what he saw next that would change his notions of reality.
Just modify them completely.
We're changing reality.
Evolving them, making them into perhaps a better person, but at least
Or
a
not.
more open-minded one.
I stumbled with that a bit, but you know what? We're going to go with it.
I like it.
Let's do it.
Sometimes, it's like Bob Ross said. There's no mistakes. There's just happy accidents.
There you go.
I love that.
Ooh,
Just
yeah,
throw in a
that's a good
fucking
idea.
happy little bush, and it's fucking in there like swimwear.
Robert, bring us a happy little bush.
You got it. Located nearly 10 miles north of Baton Rouge and just east of the Mississippi River, Louisiana's Devil's Swamp is primarily known for three things: supporting a prodigious amount of large deer, being the area that local law enforcement utilizes to test firearms and explosives, and tragically being one of the most heavily polluted sites in the state.
You got pollution, firearms, and deer. I mean,
That's about- yeah.
Massive bucks.
it's not
Big booms.
It doesn't sound like a bad time, actually. I
And
mean,
the
besides
ingredients
pollution,
to make a Toxic
Works.
Avenger and or a Spider-Man and or more likely than not leukemia.
yeah, man. I mean, whatever, dude. You could have Swamp Thing. You could have, AR-15s, whatever, dude.
You never know.
No, it's there.
It's Devil's Swamp, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking all go. No one can fucking turn back. Once you're in there, it's on
It'd be
completely.
a sweet punk rock venue.
Absolutely. Infamous for being infested with industrial waste like lead, mercury, arsenic, and polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs, the Louisiana Department of Health, Department of Environmental Quality, and the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries all issued a proclamation on August 13th, 2015, declaring that henceforth the consumption of any fish and any water activities would be strictly prohibited in Devil's Swamp due to the decidedly negative impact it would have on human health.
When you have that many different departments
water
declaring
activities.
Just saying, fuck off.
Don't do it.
Yeah, like a natural disaster of pollution is not good.
That sweet,
No.
sweet, hearty, big mouth bass you caught, throw that shit back in, that three-eyed wonder fuck, because it is not going to help your diet. Don't swim there. Don't look at it. Don't just drive by Devil's Swamp
Just
at this
keep
point.
going, dude. Keep going.
It would be easy to surmise from that description that Devil's Swamp is the home of some murky menace spawned by a heady stew of toxic waste and swamp sludge. But if you're looking for a monster in the depths of this quagmire, you'd be looking in the wrong direction. At about 6:30 a.m. on the morning of June 8th, 2000, a 41-year-old man named Roger Mixon was stalking deer on the private stretch of land known as Devil's Swamp. Whether or not Mixon had obtained permission to hunt on said parcel of property is not known, and would have very little bearing, as by the time he exited the swamp, Mixon swore he would never, ever return again. According to a report filled with the notoriously difficult to track down watchdog group known as UFO Watch, Mixon was making his way through a remote section of Devil's Swamp, hoping to bag a deer, when he suddenly became aware of an abnormal object laying in the foliage-strewn ground before him. A truly abnormal object, I'm gonna fucking tell you guys. It's some fucked up shit. Mixon was almost certainly both perplexed and awestruck by the sight of what he later described to be a dark purple, bat-like wing, but the oddness of the seemingly amputated appendage paled before its fucking enormity, as the hunter compared it to the length of an 18-wheeler. Now, for those that don't know, that's 70 to 80 feet, depending on the cab and trailer, whatnot. But big. So let's just call it a 75-foot fucking dark purple bat wing in the middle of this fucking remote hunk of the most polluted, hate-filled swamp in Louisiana.
I mean, all right, if it's going to be anywhere, it's going to be there.
Sure. Absolutely. Before Mixon could even react to the titanic specimen, his attention was suddenly grabbed by the sound of a door opening. The hunter whipped around and saw a drawbridge-like panel opening on the side of what he had previously assumed to be a colossal hunk of dead flesh. So this thing that's a fucking giant bat wing laying there that looks like fucking, somebody cleaved a fucking wing off a dragon.
It has a door?
It now has a fucking drawbridge-like door.
All right, we got
Batwing ship.
UFO. There you go.
It's fucking sweet.
All right, cool.
It was at that moment that Mixon realized that the dragon-like wing was obviously a craft. Now, here's something I have to just throw in there. You know how NASA is speculating on the idea of turning asteroids into actual ships, like mining it out? I mean, this is in the future, but still, using things that are already there. I hear about this, and all I can think is, did they just decide to make an absolutely non-aerodynamic, single-wing, bat-like craft? Or did they have some fucking crazy creature they had access to that fucking soars in the skies of whatever homeworld or dimension they come from? And they're like, well, we're not going to put, like a Japanese monster movie where, they take the bones of Godzilla and they make Mechagodzilla. Did they retrofit an amputated super wing from whatever fucking creature this is and turn it into a ship? Or did they just model it? We don't know.
We don't.
But I love to fucking speculate.
Maybe this is their NASA. This was their design.
Their NASA.
Whatever dimension they're from, yeah.
What would NASA do if dragons were fucking around on Earth right now?
Hopefully they'd make some sweet fucking dragon shuttle.
NASA wouldn't do anything. The military would just make lasers.
I like how we all
nailed it.
You're waiting. I'm like,
the military would make. Indeed, they would.
Lasers.
I mean, they're experts at lasers. No one can deny
well,
that.
it depends what time. If it was the 90s, it would be Scud missiles.
Oh yeah, the Scuds, my favorite.
But nowadays,
yeah. All right. So what happens now, Rob? We got a giant spaceship.
It's funny you were waiting for an addendum. I'm like, no, they make lasers. You're like, and I'm like, no,
nothing.
Bigger lasers.
Mixon then watched in presumably awestruck horror as the bizarre occupants of the aforementioned object exited via the drawbridge, ignored him, and went straight to the river in an attempt to corral one of Louisiana's most dangerous apex predators. Not A, but
shrimp.
Like A period, Mississippiensis, or as it is more commonly known, the American alligator.
So who calls it a Mississippiensis?
A scientist. And not just,
all right.
It's A period. It's not a Mississippiensis. It's capital A period.
That's the deal. Yeah.
So like alligator Mississippiensis?
Boom.
No, well, that's just this.
I'm not a scientist, but why don't you fucking change your shit and make it a little bit easier for the rest of us?
Raj, I'm sure scientists, if they're out with their family, they're all like, "Hey, look at the A pseudolid Simpsonness."
Yeah, they don't do that.
That father's an
They
asshole.
say it's a fucking alligator.
Yeah,
that dude sucks.
Listen, scientific designations are necessary for putting things in their proper place.
Don't get mad at science,
but it doesn't mean that fucking we're supposed to call it that. We're allowed to just say, "Wow." Fucking alligator.
Okay, so
you don't get mad at science.
So a Mississippiensis, whatever,
AKA
an American alligator.
Boom,
Johnny Maticus over here.
I know, really.
I say Maticus.
A Maticus over here.
Call it what it is, man.
You like your reptiles unclassified.
Yeah, call it what it is.
And dominating the human race
I wonder why.
from caves.
Fuck yeah, dude.
While the size of the struggling alligator was not recorded, this toothy, broad-snouted reptile can grow in excess of 15 feet in length and would make for a worthy opponent to any earthbound animal collector. But, to the eternal chagrin of this desperate gator, its would-be captors were anything but. In his report to UFO Watch, Mixon would chronicle this trio of evidently extraterrestrial entities that would forever change not only his long-established hunting habits, but also his perspective on the existence of non-human intelligence in the universe and his own backyard. Firstly, he described these improbable beings as bearing human-like faces, framed with long hair and surmounted by objects resembling golden crowns. So far, so good.
Okay, cool.
Regal.
Okay, ring wraiths.
Golden locks.
Crown,
I
yeah.
assume it's golden locks. I really don't know. It's just long hair.
It's just making
Chiseled Christ-like features, and I mean by Christ-like, like Max von Sydow, circa 1960, whatever. Greatest story ever told.
Okay.
So handsome, king-like things. That's the first part. Their chests seemed to be protected by breastplates reminiscent of cast iron, but that's where any similarities to the appearance and accoutrement of human beings ended. You knew it had to go.
Well, no.
You had to go.
Can't last forever.
Armor,
Honeymoon's over,
Sweet
bitch.
King, yeah. Mixon stated that these entities bore mouthfuls of razor-sharp teeth, not unlike those of a lion. The animalistic illusions would not end there, as the hunter further claimed that these creatures possessed 2 sets of wings, 2 sets, so 4 wings.
4.
Okay.
And, perhaps most alarmingly, scorpion-like tails.
These are the fucking most Slayer-esque fucking
they're
demon
heinous-
aliens we've ever come
heinous-
across.
Because they look like saints from, like, the fucking
Totally.
crown to the tits.
Right, and then
it's all scorpion tails and
Yeah,
multiple
Then they're
fucking
dragonfly
teeth.
people.
Yeah, dude. Now, real quick, I just want to toss this out here. We have covered shit in the past with in a breastplate. It was
the Grinning Man.
The Grinning Man,
Yeah,
yes.
the Grinning Man
Yes.
had like, and that's an odd. You know, it's interesting. I didn't even think about that, and it's very likely unrelated, but it's weird. Like, why would these two like disparate, anomalous, non-human
Wear
entities
armor?
and
what's up with
specifically a
that?
breastplate? Like, it wasn't full armor on either of them. That's interesting.
No, just
or it
top.
just looks like armor. If it's like an exo,
Or maybe it's,
exosuit or
dude,
something,
maybe it's
yeah.
like a future tank top.
not just suit, but if it's
a future tank top. It
like
could be.
like a bug, it's their
if
outer.
you have 4 sets of
exoskeleton.
wings,
Yeah.
you really can't wear pants.
I mean, an exoskeleton could easily look like fucking armor.
That's true.
and if you have a scorpion-like tail, what are you gonna do with pants? You almost gotta wear a speedo.
Well, see, the thing is,
Who
in
said
this-
anything about pants? You're just bringing up pants. Well, I can wear pants.
Yeah.
Debunked. See you next week.
All I'm saying, dude, is when you got a breastplate, you got 4 wings, you got a scorpion tail, you got a mouthful of fucking razors, and you got a breastplate, you're not concerned about what's happening below the waist unless you're fashionable.
We were saying it might not be a breastplate. It could be just their exoskeleton.
or
if
it
they're
could be,
insect-like.
as I said, the tank top of the future.
They might be cosmic fashionistas. We don't
could
know.
be.
But here's the wicked pisser for me.
What do we got?
You don't know. They don't say if they have 2 human legs or if they have if they're like scorpion centaurs. Like if the bottom half is all fucking scuttle and fucking legs and
Right.
segmented body parts and all
I
sorts of
want to
heinous
believe
shit.
that they have like humanoid legs.
See, the way
You
I
wa-
see them,
you
I
wanna
see them as
believe.
scorpion centaurs.
Oh,
Because the only we have to go by what the eyewitness says. The only thing he mentions, Roger Mixon, is scorpion-like tails.
That's
so
it,
They could very well be on 2 feet.
That's-
Could you
see, I know
imagine?
that's what I picture,
weird
though.
enough, though. So even if
That's
they're
what I
charging on
picture.
2 feet with their scorpion tails and their sweet crowns and their fucking golden Fabio-esque locks,
Totally.
Charging into the river to fucking get a gator, that's got to be a sight you're just never gonna fuck suck and forget.
yeah.
Dude,
It's crazy.
it happens.
I don't know. They could be super big, like pixies.
It
Weird.
could be. Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Shit.
Just prove that.
The form or even amount of limbs these things had was not specifically described, as I just said, leaving this author to surmise that they were likely humanoid in appearance, but that is, of course, pure speculation on my part. So in the end, I kind of went with the more humanoid look, but I do want them to be scorpion
You
centaurs.
see,
so
I
bad.
know.
Undoubtedly gobsmacked by his increasingly bizarre series of sightings, Mixon silently stared as the 3 manifestly majestic amalgamations of man and beast attempted to wrestle the thrashing alligator into submission. That was when one of the potentially infernal fiends caught him in its inhuman gaze.
These things are fucking gator wrestling.
They're scorpion-tailed gator wrestlers.
This is the shit you do in Louisiana.
And
I don't know.
One of the high
But-
royalty of the Dragon Wing suddenly
Yeah.
turns and notices Mixon finally. He's like,
Oh.
the fuck you are?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? This is our business.
Yeah.
If we want to wrestle gators, that's our jam.
Here we go.
Fucker.
You gotta calm down.
It's from
You're
the
out of control.
It's from that Louisiana show where they dig up wood from the water. What's it called? He's got
Wood from
dig
the
up
water.
wood
Yeah,
All right,
he's-
so
he's got
Mark just had a stroke and he's making something
no,
up.
it was one of those shows. He's got his own-
Bayou diggers.
yeah, it's something like that. Remember all those shows?
What,
He
wood
had-
forging?
Ow!
Yeah, no, I know, but I don't.
Dredging for
It was
lumber?
like it was
I
like
know
swamp
something.
wood or some shit.
No,
like that.
no.
Sounds
I can't-
good.
You know, I know
Swamp
you're right.
lumber.
I absolutely know you're telling the truth, but I can't.
The best
I refuse to believe
The best
it.
part about this dude is he had his
Swamp
dog.
wood.
His dog was named Willie Dog.
Willie
It's
dog.
called Willie Dog. And it was hanging out. It was cute
All right,
as shit,
so
dude.
I agree that in the realm of reality TV, a lot of fucking bullshit exists, but you seriously took the time to watch a show that was about fucking pulling wood from a swamp?
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
What did they do?
What do they do
I don't
with
know,
it?
like swamp loggers
What do they
or some
fucking do?
shit. I don't think they make furniture and shit out of it. I don't know. I was just there for the antics.
There's a lot of wood on dry land.
Yeah, but I'm pretty
Why
sure
would you
it's
want a
something
fucking
to do.
dry swamp log fucking
We're not
wood?
going to digress this much into having to look up the A&E show.
I'm just
But-
saying, that's some fucked up shit.
And look, and not for nothing, but the whole, what was it, the gator hunter people, right? The gator hunters, the swamp,
I
swamp killers.
I get that
was a
because
fun
there's some perverse thrill in people watching human v gator. I get that. Ever
yeah,
since the crocodile
but now,
hunter.
but dude, now we have weird hell space alien thing versus gator. They could be getting wood.
If
for
A&E
furniture.
wanted to do a show about these
I don't
fuckers,
think they
That
are.
I would
be the
watch
shit.
every
There it
episode.
is. All right, Robert,
Yeah,
what's
I-
happening now? In Human Gaze, what happened next?
Deciding to forego the dubious honor of an amiable first contact with a clearly dangerous alien species, Mixon raised his 12-gauge shotgun and fired. Jesus Christ.
So you just shot at him. Of course.
No,
You know-
hold on, wait. In Nixon's defense, I said Nixon, I know.
True.
In Nixon's defense, what the fuck else are you gonna do?
Walk
Not
away,
shoot.
run,
And
hide.
they fucking locked eyes, dude.
Dude, all right, I don't blame him for
Listen,
staring.
primate hostility over
Yeah,
here.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, really? Primate
He looked at me.
hostility.
I gotta shoot him.
Oh, that's not. You're not
Is
a
that
fucking
not what you just
scorpion.
said?
You're not a scorpion, or else in a fucking gator.
Yeah, but who's
If
to
you
say
were,
they're
I would
not-
shoot you.
That's a bad argument.
So based on their appearance, you would shoot them just
Really?
because they appear dangerous.
Are you gonna Sam Harris me into the corner again?
Primate
Are you
hostility.
gonna intellectually bully me?
I just
into the
did.
corner?
I think Mr.
did.
Mixon was precipitous in firing at that point.
I think we should do a fucking poll and see how many people would shoot these fuckers.
Yeah, I would like
I'm
to see
here for
that.
humanity.
Listen, who is fucking trying to found the anti-ultra-terrestrial fucking army? That's Uncle Rob.
But you're
here.
also on the side of the emotional plan, so you could be like you could be a coy. You could
Don't
be,
you
could
think
be the
emotional
decoy.
plants would be a fucking key ally in the war against ultra-terrestrials?
Well, maybe they would have attacked this thing if they were.
Oh my God!
something,
You
whatever.
would have denied Stalin's help in World War II, and we'd all be speaking German now because you don't think ahead and love a plan.
How does that tie into this at all?
Completely.
How?
Know your history.
How does anything you're talking about?
Yeah, honestly, how does that work?
Either of you.
I'm going to say this 100%. Mixon should have fucking hit and not shot.
All right,
because here's the thing. What if it hit the breastplate or the exoskeleton? What if he kills one and the other two are like, fuck this gator, human meat?
Okay, so what
yeah.
happened?
What if he's like, all right, launch the nuke. Jim's dead.
World gone.
All right,
Yeah.
Robert, continue.
I will.
I'll hold my continue.
Wow. Mixon hit the nearest entity in its armor-plated chest, knocking it off its still frustratingly enigmatic feet. And they are because we don't know. It could be little
Two
tiny
or
scorpion
four or
things.
three or-
it
So
could be,
he-
it
so-
could be sweet buff human legs.
He
we don't
took
know.
the shot and hit the plate.
Before Mixon had a chance to shoot a second time, the creature he'd shot leapt up, abandoned its epic gator fight, raised an object that dangled from around its waist, and used it to discharge a light beam at the presumably terrified eyewitness and assaulter of alien species.
See? See?
You know what though? This fucker stood its ground. It was shot at. You know what it did? It shot back.
It shot back.
Yeah.
With the
And
dangling
you know why?
belt thing.
That's what you do.
That's what
It's
you
a
do.
priest.
It's a
It's
priest.
true. It might be
That's
part
his
of like-
holy symbol.
What if it's like a monastic order of fucking scorpion-tailed
They're probably just
that's
monks?
kind of dope.
tag this thing because on their world it's endangered, and they're like, well, we got to find out more about
Or
it.
they could be
and
sacred.
they were just doing
the way
doing a nice
cats were
thing.
to Egyptians. Maybe whatever
Yeah.
this
Okay.
culture is,
All
they
right.
worship the gator.
And he got
they're-
shot,
And they're
and-
trying to, like, I don't know, take a toenail as like a venerable relic back to their home world. And this guy's going to fuck it up
Yeah.
with a
Or some
goddamn
DNA.
bullet.
Wow,
Some-
you're just like apologizing for these things left and right, aren't you?
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Maybe
All right? Maybe I like the cut of their
you're
jib.
just apologizing for him. It's fine. It's fine.
The beam fired by this
Yeah.
wholly established,
The good beam.
extraordinary, the good beam.
Beam of the martyr.
Really?
Oh, nailed it.
Man, you guys
So
are
may I continue?
just sucking these things wings.
The beam of the martyr struck Mixon on his wrist, leaving not only a permanent scar, but also denying him the use of his arm for forever after.
All right, so you know what? He took the chance. He took the shot. Got shot back at, and you know what? That's civil.
Now he's
that's a war.
It's civil
Yeah,
war.
he was
It's not a
he
war.
was
no way
proven
is that
evil.
a civil war,
No, it's
just so you
not.
know.
Okay, what dueling? Is it right? Duel.
I don't know if it's a duel.
Could be
no,
duel?
when you shoot somebody when they're just doing their job and they shoot back, that's called self-defense. That's
Okay.
not a fucking duel.
Yeah,
So
that's
whatever,
defending your. That's staying your ground.
Yeah, stand your ground.
And you know what? Fucking Mixon was shooting to kill. Our fine scorpion brethren
Yeah.
just shot to maim.
Yeah, martyr
Shot to
beam
maim.
is in defense.
Yes.
All right, fine.
The
Whatever.
good martyr beam.
I'm still with Nixon on taking the shot. He had.
Of course you are.
Oh, you're so horny for humans. Oh, my God.
Cold War Dodge.
Yeah, that's right. Cold War Dodge.
Before releasing his weapon, the hunter managed to fire another round. It might well be the shot that saved his life, as the 12 gauges report so startled the creatures that they released the gator, took flight on their 12 collective wings, and soared inside the open door into the gigantic purple batwing.
They flew
Yeah.
back into their ship. There you
but
go.
who's to say they're doing anything wrong? If some random fuck
Man,
shoots
you guys are you going to propaganda?
if someone's trying to like
Are
tag
you?
an elk,
Are
and
you?
They,
into
they
local
came
shoots
here
at
and they're
them?
wrestling our fucking gators, dude. That's the issue.
Is that really an issue?
Yeah.
Is that an issue you
How do
take
you
umbrage
know?
with?
No, not really.
You don't know what
Okay.
they were doing.
I'm just saying, if you got to take a shot, you got to take a shot.
You don't shoot the fucking alien in the Batwing. First off, they're better than you. You know how they're better than you? They turned a Batwing into a fucking ship. They got fucking belt beams.
We have the internet. Yeah, exactly. People are listening to us right now over the internet.
You're right.
And they're here wrestling gators out of some stupid Batwing ship.
No,
You
you're
know what?
assuming the wrestling.
We
gators.
win.
I stand humbled.
USA. Chant it with me, Robert.
You know I'll always chant USA. I'm a big Olympics fan. I'm a proud patriot. Don't shoot first.
So the dude gets shot and he loses his
Like,
arm.
it's a dangle
dead.
arm for
That
life.
sucks.
That
man.
does suck.
All right, okay.
I hope it was just, even though I think he was the aggressor here, I hope Mixon got shot in his dominant arm. Because it would suck to have to learn to write, say, left-handed or masturbate left-handed or any of the
Well,
things you got to do for the rest of your life if your good standard operating hand is fucked.
Yeah.
Stop shooting shit.
On the other hand, don't randomly fucking shoot first.
All right, well, what happened next? We're going to agree to disagree.
All right, fair enough. Seconds later, the wing-like object shot skyward at lightning speed, leaving behind the petrified observer as well as the perplexed alligator. Mixon understandably sprinted away from the scene, never to return again.
Yeah, let's. I mean, I know we've been having a little discussion here about shooting these things and them shooting back. Just imagine being the alligator.
Oh.
You're just doing your alligator thing, or what was it called? A Mississippiensis.
A
You're an
Mississippiensis.
A Mississippiensis, and you're just doing your deal.
Yeah,
And
living
all
in
of
the
a sudden,
Mississippi, doing your thing. Well,
Giant-
or whatever.
Giant
Devil Swamp.
Batwing ship comes out. These things appear. These Pazuzu-esque looking demons. Next thing you know, they're wrestling you. Dude takes a shot at one. They shoot back. You're just like, the fuck are these people doing?
Yeah,
I
gators don't give fucks anyway, though.
I mean,
the
they're
offside
probably
of
just,
this,
an
though-
eyes and a stomach, but still.
Contrary to Chris's very accurate assumption that alligators give no fucks.
Right.
What if they're destined to become a more sentient kind of species and alligator-human alliance was forged by Mixon's self-sacrifice? He lost an arm, he saved the gator, and while the gators maybe weren't bright enough to remember, maybe in some ancestral memory in their fucking deep reptilian brains, when in like 1,000,000 years they evolve, human beings and gator beings will come together to fight the Scorpion Kings.
All right.
But probably not.
Scorpion King was not a good movie, but Robert.
it could
No,
be.
it wasn't. But I mean, things that wear crowns and have scorpion tails more deserve the title Scorpion King.
Okay.
All right. Thus ends the all too brief and wretchedly undetailed report of what has been dubbed the case of the winged scorpions hunting alligators. Brought to our attention by longtime Kryptonaut podcast listener Tom G., who wrote about it in his subreddit, which is called Passport to Magonia, which is also a Jacques Vallée book, in which he stated, "The thing about the sighting which draws me in is how similar the beings described are to the ancient Mesopotamian wind demon known as Pazuzu,
Got a little bit of the devil in there.
a little smidge
A little
of it,
bit.
which is thought to have represented the southeastern wind and to have been the bearer of storms and drought." Tom G. further illustrates his point by asserting, "This is all well and good until you consider that Pazuzu was always represented as a humanoid with the head of a lion or a dog, the talons of an eagle, 2 pairs of wings, and the tail of a scorpion."
Oh, yeah.
So could it be art misrepresenting life in this case?
Okay.
Pazuzu also bears a crown-like structure on his head in most sculptural depictions.
The Golden Crown.
So full props to Tom G for illustrating this. So, all right, if somebody caught a glance of it and was like, it had a crown, lion-like teeth, scorpion tail, 4 sets of wings, and then the sculptor, who was probably not a direct eyewitness, would be like, oh, a lion-like face because it's got lion-like. It would exaggerate and whatever, like a lot of artists do. So this really could be sightings of the same species who might be tackling all kinds of reptiles on all the continents. Who knows?
From time
it could have been
immemorial.
Nile crocodiles. It could just be their jam. Cayman in South America, and somebody saw them and detailed them, and then they became the god of the south wind or west wind or whatever the fuck it was, Pazuzu, which eventually, when Christianity, just infested the rest of the world, and they took all the different gods that were worshipped and made them demonic because they were not the one and true.
Dude, they're here to wrestle gators, man. Let's just break it down to that. They want to wrestle gators.
Maybe that's it.
That's all they're here for, dude.
You're assuming
Beers and wrestling
How
gators.
funny would it be if it was a test of manhood? Just like a predator, but instead of a predator needing to kill or do something, it's just like if you wrestle the Earth Gator and win, you come back to your home world.
Dude, it goes.
Man.
This is the
A
direct
scorpion four-winged
parallel
man.
to Alien versus Predator, the first movie where they have the temple under the ice. They get the aliens out, and the young predators come, and only one survives.
I feel like 3 of the was it 3 of them?
Yeah,
2, 3
3
of
against
them.
1.
You'd think they'd be able to actually subdue a gator.
That's
But
what I'm
maybe
saying.
All right, so probably not a test of manhood. Probably either a scientific expedition or maybe food. I mean, I've
What about
eaten
recreation?
gator
What about
kibasa
fun?
in Louisiana.
What about
Like
fun?
they have the tech to get here, but not to a trank dart.
What about just
So yeah, why are they
Hey, look, what-
fucking fighting it?
why not just have it's,
Or maybe
it's just,
they weren't. I don't know.
Oh my
fun.
God! If they're gonna fucking take the super bats of fucking Geedy Prime, I know that's fucking a Dune reference. We always do those.
No, it's clearly that's the deal.
but turn it into a ship. Maybe they're really getting gators because it makes like a sweet backpack. Maybe all of their tech is hollowed out organic material.
That might be.
And the fucking gator's going to be like a super gun or a fucking a sleeping bag or whatever the fuck they're going to use it for.
Yeah.
And they just need the gator because they refuse to use inorganic things like thread and whatever. Plastics.
The actual weapons they had? What were?
Well,
they?
there was something that shot a beam
dangling.
and it dangled from a belt.
Oh, the martyr beam.
The martyr
the
beam.
martyr beam,
That's
yeah,
all
okay.
we have.
All
We
right,
don't
cool.
really have any detail. We don't know if it was gun. I think it was probably. I see it as wand shape, but fuck all. Who knows?
All right. Well,
No, yeah, we're just all have a different.
Well, the problem is the original count is like a fucking 3 paragraphs. It is short as the dills.
Yeah,
The
and-
report Mixon made is not highly detailed. It's fascinating because of its sheer fuck-uppery.
Right.
But there's not a lot to go on. So basically what we have is these like few scintillating details that we just have to, ride like a fucking donkey into the dirt until it just gives up its last breath because there's
My
not a lot to
favorite
go
thing
on.
to do.
Yeah, that just sounds sad.
All right.
Just gonna ride this donkey into the dirt until
Well,
it dies. All right.
If it was a
Poor
good,
donkey.
let me continue this analogy. If it was a good, solid story, it would be a robust, young, and healthy elephant that would take you all the way to where you need to go.
Okay, cool.
This is
I
like
like it
a
better.
fucking
And not die.
86-year-old
And
in
it
donkey
won't
years,
die.
beat up, 3-legged wonky donkey that's just gonna fucking.
The wonky
Because
donkey.
it's actually a fun song and a great children's book.
All right. Cool.
God damn it.
All right.
So my analogies blow. We've established that.
They're terrible, but continue.
Tom G explains that this might be Mixon confabulating accounts of demons with his otherwise fabricated alien encounter story, or that this might possibly be an account of a genuine demonic run-in, or perhaps shapeshifters adopting the guise of a demon before they appeared to the hunter. That is a lot of options. I give Tom
like
G
that.
perfect credit for all of that.
Yeah, that's a good theory, though.
I mean, yes, it could be a lie. We'll deal with that in a second.
Yeah.
Good theories all, but like so many of the most intriguing accounts in the history of paranormal studies, this case leaves many more questions than answers in its peculiar wake.
Oh.
So before we get into anything else, let's deal specifically with what Tom G presented.
Yeah, and let's give a quick shout out to our buddy Tom G,
Absolutely.
long-time listener.
Oh.
His website is the Bridge to Magonia. We're
Yep.
going to leave a link in the
Is it
description.
Passport?
Or Passport to Magonia. Yep, that's his website. So we're going to leave a link in the description of this podcast. Actually, Tom has been a listener for a super long time, and he's the one that turned us on to Sam the Sandown Ghost Clown.
Yes, he did.
He's like he's our buddy across the pond who's like a secondary research. Like, guys, check out the sweet shit. He's the dude. So, Tom, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, definitely.
And so let's break this down, starting with our very favorite thing. This could all just be fucking made up.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, yes. I mean, for whatever
Very
reason.
well.
Though I don't know why you'd make.
Dude, he could have
this
been
up.
he could have been hunting and fucked something up, and his arm
here-
shot, and then
here's
he's
the
just
thing.
trying to,
It seems to me liars more often tell tales of the bizarre, but in the most pedestrian way. Like, it would be 3 grays, and they're studying a fucking plant or digging soil samples or whatever the fuck they do.
Yeah.
And they notice Tom, and maybe they shot a beam at him because he has to justify this scar on his wrist or whatever else, and he's trying to get workman's comp. You'd think you would, or if in fact it was a way to fake an injury, you would do a completely pedestrian story of, like, maybe being gang beaten by strangers.
Yeah.
To tell a story of fucking crazy Pazuzu-esque crowned scorpion people in a batwing ship, plus incriminating yourself by basically admitting you're poaching on fucking
That's true,
and trespassing on ground you're not supposed to be on, hunting game you're not supposed to kill
in a polluted area, which makes you a really not clever poacher.
No, because
actually, if you're doing it just for trophy, then it makes sense because you're not going to eat
it's
it.
just for trophy.
Just trophy.
Well, what else would it be?
But I mean,
really?
this
You
thing
can't
has
eat
to
it,
drink from the fetid, fucking toxified devil swamp.
All right, so maybe this is just a workers' comp gone awry, even though he's not working.
Horribly awry, like ridiculously.
Workers' comp gone awry.
This is a workers' comp case, but he wasn't working. But they'll figure that out in the arbitration. No, don't worry.
I just don't believe that's that.
No,
because
not at
it
all.
seems like you'd pick something more plausible.
All right.
So we always have to entertain it. Every case could, unless of course it's a mass sighting,
Right,
Like
but
Varennes or something
generally,
else,
yeah.
where you have like 47 people that don't know each other well, and there's no way to corroborate it. But if it's a single sole witness
Right.
in an isolated place, we always have to put it on the table. I'm not going to take it off the table completely, but I'm
devil?
going to say. Well, no, the devil's there. The devil's
Okay, all right,
securely,
all right.
like, he's the centerpiece.
All right, yeah,
the
he
classic horned red devil's head is constantly in the middle of the fucking
He
table.
is a cornucopia of celebration of this Thanksgiving, Robert.
And in this case, well said, it may well be something diabolical, but I just don't assume this guy is lying.
I don't want to speak the words.
Say it.
I don't want to push the
Don't
merch at
fucking
our
do
Public
it.
shop
Oh my god.
because I know this kills Chris every time I do it.
It's all the same thing, man.
This could be Heller Space.
Oh my god.
This could be a clear-cut case of Heller Space.
I can't even argue.
They
with
have
you here.
demon. They do. They
but
do sort of have.
listen.
They have definite demon features. Not
Listen.
sort of. Definite demon
It
features.
could be hell and space.
It's all the same shit.
No, don't.
Ah,
What did I just
said it.
What did I just say?
I said
So
it.
the same
It could all be
blanket.
the same shit.
You
You
wouldn't
don't
sell
know.
a single T-shirt if it was hell and space.
Hell
we
or
we know
space.
it's a choice. It has to be a choice.
Yeah. Why don't you just make sure that says everything is the same thing? Have fun.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. And you watch. I'll do it. I swear to God, I will. And I will get listener support, and they will buy that T-shirt.
I'm saying, if demons are like it is in Doom, where it's just space.
Oh,
Doom.
yeah. When they open the gate on Mars.
Otherwise,
Right,
why
yeah.
do demons need a fucking ship? If we're talking about demons in classical,
Or classical
religious sense,
I mean, in all
demon sense,
fairness,
yeah.
John Keel was kind of a supporter of this in his later years, and I own a few spaceships.
Dare we
like,
say Jacques Vallée?
Yeah, no, not Jacques Vallée. He didn't
Oh, no,
necessarily
he was
support that
psychic.
aliens
He was
were
the
demonic.
aliens or psychic. Yeah.
Well, he definitely
there was psychic
he
phenomenon.
bought into the kind of the ultra-terrestrial phenomenon a little bit, and he was all about you're right, psychic or psychological to be
that was
more to the
psychological,
point.
yeah.
And that
Which
there were
could
weird
be demons.
manifestations, and it could
Demons
be.
of the mind.
That all could be true, but I own a couple books, and I've read it. It's not a theory I support where they believe aliens are demons, flying saucers are literally from hell. They're here to confuse us, to make us stray from God. This is a theory I don't espouse or
Remember
believe
we
in.
talked about this book? It was during the RoboFlowers episode. Remember we looked up on Amazon. It was like The Devil Flies a UFO, and it was super sweet.
And I own that book.
That's what you got.
Oh, 100%.
It's a sweet book, man.
Yeah.
It looks cool as shit.
Thank you, Salvation Army.
Dude,
you
if
can
I
find
went-
wonders
If
there.
I went to church and they warned me of the fucking alien devils flying the UFOs, I still might be in
Oh,
church.
my God, yeah. If they
Just
made
for
it
the
more
alien
fun and
devil UFO
dynamic.
stories, dude.
dude, no, they'd find a way to really terrify you with that.
Yeah.
Oh,
they do.
absolutely.
Exactly.
You wouldn't be
I
like,
don't
it's
think that's
dope.
the case, but I would say hell or space are options.
These are options.
There is clear, like you say, demonic comparisons in their appearance.
Yeah.
But there's obviously...
I mean, even...
Well, it's not even necessarily ultra-terrestrial. It's a fuck-sucking giant purple batwing with a drawbridge.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's fantasy.
The ship...
That is something you get in a fucking old, early 80s sword and sorcery movie, not a goddamn, Steven Spielberg alien movie.
It depends how you say...
The UFO they show it been... That
I mean,
they
if it was
show up.
riveted and mechanical and it just happened to be
Like
bat
if you saw it from the
Yeah.
side and it looks like round and then it does like a batwing thing, but from the front it might be this round, smooth.
It almost sounds like a,
That-
it
you know what I'm
almost sounds
saying?
like a.
Chris makes a good point. Go ahead.
It almost sounds like a ship from fucking Voltron. Remember when
yes.
when they would with the fucking row beasts would come down the coffin,
100%.
but they had the armada. It sounds
Sure.
like a fucking
All right.
like the UFO was fashioned after Voltron.
So, in deference to Chris and you for saying this, we really don't have a full-on description.
Yeah,
you
right.
could perceive it as something that vaguely gives the illusion of a batwing, but it's still highly mechanized, smooth metal, or whatever material they're using, and so this guy glanced at it like, oh, this looks like a fucking huge batwing, but it's weird, but it's clearly mechanical, and in which case that's fucking presumably extraterrestrial. But based only on the description we have, and I agree, you can interpret it in a lot of ways, I really see this as like it looks like, I'm not saying it's truly organic. I get a kick out of the idea of repurposing like a fucking dragon wing into a ship, but that it might be something fantastical rather than mechanical.
Right.
Or potentially organic, or organic and mechanical, cybernetic. Who the fuck knows?
I mean,
but based on the description, he didn't say it was a metal
wing
ship
UFO.
that looked in the shape
No,
of a
right.
batwing. He said
But it just looks-
looked like a goddamn batwing.
Sure.
But we can go back and forth 1,000
Yeah.
years because that's all the
Right.
information
But that,
we have.
yeah, I only say that because it's a very specific shape.
Yes.
When you say the batwing, you know exactly what
Yeah.
that shape means.
And for me, it's literally one half of the Batman logo.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
I'm
It
not
just
even
does the
thinking of like a
thing.
real bat. Wing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like
Sure.
with
well,
the
I
little
mean,
curves at the
regardless, the
bottom.
fucking drawbridge opened up.
Yeah.
Right.
Which changes
From
the
where
game.
though?
Which
was it at
changes
the
the
end?
game.
Was it dead up
Yeah.
in the middle? What
I
the
don't know.
fuck?
I
A
know.
drawbridge opens up and
my
fucking
mind
hell
wants to tell
comes
me that
forth.
it's from the side, but that's only because you'd have to see it from a certain perspective
I mean, it
to
could
see that it
be-
looks like a
Yeah, I
batwing.
guess from the
Yes.
front would be kind of
If-
weird.
So
if
it
you
would almost
think-
have to be from the.
That's why I thought
like
maybe
the panel of the or like the flaps of the wing.
like if it was the side, the front of the ship, like I said, might not look anything like a batwing.
Yeah, you're right.
It might just look like a big Lamborghini with this thing, but when you look at the side, it's got a couple little curves.
Listen, if we were making a movie about this,
The fuck? I don't
we
even know
would
how you make it.
completely tech it out.
Yeah.
No, we'd hire good production designers, and it would
Totally.
fucking be
All
tits
right,
up.
so Batwing shaped ship aside, these things appear. They're wrestling a gator. We don't know the fucking.
Are they trying to take
why
it
they
aboard?
could be. It
Are
could-
they
yeah.
trying to tag it? Is it scientific? Is it proving a point? Is it that they want to eat gator meat? Is it that they just fucking hate
More
gators?
importantly,
I don't know.
I think that the actual them wearing this alleged chest armor, which we have seen before, which is kind of interesting.
It is.
That
It
other
is.
alien alleged quote unquote alleged
what's wrong with
aliens
alleged?
could be
Or
wearing
the ethereal, weird
armor.
interdimensional or whatever being the Grinning Man, which
Right.
seems to be like, it's funny if Mothman is allegedly a harbinger of doom,
Right.
or
The Grinning
Owlman.
Man would be definitely one too.
The Grinning Man is like the fucking like what Silver Surfer is to Galactus. It is the pre-harbinger
yeah,
of doom.
the
Like
there you
the
go.
Grinning Man shows up to give you the hint that the harbinger is
It's
coming,
coming, yeah.
to deliver
He's
the prophecy.
So is he like a pre-Norin Rad? Is that what he is?
He's a pre-oracle.
Yeah, the copper surfer.
He saw the brass surfer.
Yeah.
The worst.
I think we should just coin the phrase pre-oracle from now on.
Pre-oracle?
Pre-oracle.
All right, you're a
Okay.
poracle. All right, poracle. All right, cool. All right, so real quick here, just to kind of wrap this thing up, I'm going to say that these things are... I can go a lot of ways with this. I could go straight space. I can go straight hell. But you know what I'm doing, boys? I'm going back to the old school. I'm going interdimensional.
Oh,
For
God
no
bless
other
you.
reason that they got some fucking sweet-ass looking armor on them, and it sounds good.
Okay.
But they aren't a UFO, but maybe they
Maybe
use
not.
that to traverse parallel time and space. Oh,
So you're not even going to bring up ultra-terrestrials?
not even.
Damn it, Rob.
No, you have to.
Not even.
No, you don't.
Calm your anger for a second. Let me speak.
Parallel Earth fucking gator demons.
These things don't serve any real identifiable purpose. Yes, they
Okay.
might be tagging an animal or getting food or doing whatever. Or maybe Randy from the last expedition got eaten by a gator and it's just straight revenge.
Oh, Randy,
we don't
R.I.P.,
know.
right.
When Randy goes down, a lot of mourners.
R.I.P. Randy.
But everything about this seems to be designed to fuck up one simple hunter who's not doing anything. A batwing, scorpion-ass, four-winged, lion-toothed kings, a gator wrestling match. All of this seems to design to create such a sense of terror that this man just shot unprovoked. As much as we're picking on earlier, I mean, you almost can't blame the sheer terror he's feeling.
Right.
So I'm not saying I think it's an ultra-terrestrial case, but we can't ignore the fact that if there are weird creatures that just take on guises and they just feed on your terror, this is a perfect scenario for scaring the fucking shit out of somebody.
Okay.
So it's got to be on the table.
Well, that's if
All
they
right.
I'm not
showed
saying
up
I advocate
on
it.
purpose to
Well,
scare him, and
I
instead
mean,
of him stumbling
There's
upon
a lot of what
it
ifs.
sounds
There's
to me,
always what
it
ifs.
sounds to me like he stumbled upon it. Like he just kind of walked there and it was
Or
there.
did he?
Oh, you're taking Chris's angle.
Yeah,
there,
that's
aren't you?
normally my angle.
Normally Chris's angle, but okay.
Or
just saying.
did
All
it?
right, Christopher, what are your thoughts? I'm going interdimensional. Rob's going ultra-terrestrial. We're
No,
both
I'm
going
not.
old
I'm
school.
not. I'm just
Okay,
saying that.
Rob is a man that cannot be tied to a theory.
No, I will be tied to a theory. You ask me my theory, I'll tell you what
Chris
it
has
is.
tuberculosis. Let him talk.
Let Chris talk. I'll give you my theory.
Consumption. I have consumption. That's
have
my
He does.
theory.
consumption.
He's got it. I like to
don't
think
know.
it's more like the vapors.
Okay.
Oh, it could be the vapors. But anyway,
But anyway, tuberculosis.
I don't
aside.
know. There's not a surprising lack of information to really make a fucking call on this one. I don't think it's a breastplate. These things sound like insects, so maybe they are insects. It's not. I don't think it is a breastplate. I think like it's more just natural of what they are.
But even if it is an exoskeleton, what do you think it is?
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
Is it
but,
crowns or is it just part of their
that's
like
what I'm
forehead
s-
armor?
It could easily.
Is everything that they are just
They seem
like
everything.
humanoid bug?
Everything could be prescribed to some sort of insect creature. Really, I mean,
They
at
have
this
a
point,
weapon.
um,
They have four
well,
wings.
from the waist up, there's nothing from the waist down
Right.
as far as legs or whatever.
Right.
But the ship could be space or it could be not. It could be. It doesn't say there's an engine. You don't know. Maybe that's their time
what's
ship.
fucking
That's their
funny
fucking
is,
dimension ship.
Like
whatever.
bugs on our planet are compared to us for the most part, well, almost exclusively, are tiny. What if the planet that these things come from, assuming they're extraterrestrial, is fucking colossal? And that's just a standard sized bat on their planet.
Sure, it could
and
be.
they're like the equivalent of like hyper intelligent civilized ants.
So they built their ship
And so
around
why wouldn't you? If you take the raw materials you have at hand, you cut
Right.
down trees to build houses when you're a pioneer in the old American West. If your technology doesn't evolve to incorporate steel and plastic and microchips and whatever the fuck else we've done, who's to say how technology evolves on other planets? Maybe it's much more organic. Maybe, say, if Native Americans had been able to keep control of the United States, they would have made great leaps in technology, but it would have been much more nature integrated. We just don't know. So if these ant people on fucking planet Colossus 6 just fucking used a random
Best.
batwing, built a ship, they're coming here. Now when they come to Earth, Earth is full of tiny, tiny things. These fucking little ants on their planet are like full-sized fucking scorpion kings.
Okay. All right.
How dope
True.
would that be?
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything, but if you're going to go extraterrestrial, who's to say?
Right.
Well,
If they are
interdimensional for
insects,
that.
or
it
interdimensional,
doesn't
or-
matter.
Oh, is
That's
it
it.
interdimensional,
Or-
Christopher?
Parallel universe.
I'm just saying you can't just prescribe that.
Interdimensional.
You can't just
Interdimensional.
prescribe that to
Oh,
extraterrestrial.
You guys missed it, but it was an interdimensional fist bump
Yeah,
between Mark and Chris.
there it
No.
is. Woo! All right, so Robert.
or bats or dragons.
Okay. Or it's just
dragon wings
it's
is
just
the
a
same
UFO
fucking
that's
thing.
shaped like a bat wing.
Yeah.
Yes, we
there
don't
you go.
know.
Boom.
I mean, you can say it plaintively, like, well, let's just go to Occam's razor, but there is no Occam's razor. The Occam's razor, the simplest designation is not. It's a spaceship.
There's not enough
shaped like a batwing.
information to do
It
that.
could be a batwing turned into a spaceship, or it could be any number of things. There is no like, duh, let's go with this.
I think I'm really more excited that they're here to wrestle gators, personally. I think that's where the fun comes in. Spaceship aside, I think the wrestling the gators, I think that's really the key.
So here's what I'm
Because
going
we
with.
were
That's
on
talking
all
about,
you think they're doing.
Think about this. We're talking about Also 1.
Yeah, we
and
did.
possibly Also 2, who were here because it was like their fucking game
Well, they
reserve.
love fish.
They love fish.
They love elk.
and possibly
They love to
eating-
watch people pork,
and
apparently.
eating people. So I mean, what if these guys just come here because the gator population is just something they or whatever,
Or it could be a delicacy.
Could be
It could be like the caviar of their world,
or
but
they are
they have to come
hunting
here.
the deadliest species they could find.
to create a menagerie of terror in a
'cause
super zoo on their homeworld.
That would be
Oh,
that would
I
be
like
humans.
That
If
sounds
they
like a
did
Rick
their
and Morty
research.
episode, actually. That sounds kind
Yeah,
of cool.
menagerie of terror.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. I would like to think that's true.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, you know what?
But if you're going to create a true menagerie of terror, you've got to take a human.
It's true.
That's
you
what I'm
do.
saying. That's
Yeah.
that's the deal.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, there's some wild animals that are super dangerous.
But guns.
Yeah, get fucking
dude.
15 humans together in a close encounter, and you're going to have to replenish that supply like every other year because
If
everyone's
I-
going to kill everyone.
If I may quote New Hampshire's finest scissor fight, the most dangerous animal is me. Oh, now that's a fucking. There you go.
I happen
That's
to
a line.
enjoy Scissor Fight.
fucking
Yeah, they're
rules.
fun.
Scissor Fight off topic is back together. Different singer, back together, still good. I think they got their own beer out now.
Oh,
so
okay.
Well, I'll be.
yeah. So what up, Scissor Fight? If you're listening,
Probably not,
thank
but
you.
if you are,
Maybe
good
they are.
shit,
it could be.
past and present.
So all right, there. So Robert, closing thoughts. What do we got? I'm going interdimensional. Chris is saying possible bug-like people possibly had an interdimensional fist bump. He's on my team. He's on my boat. Robert,
Sure.
close us out.
It's clearly
Oh,
a
man.
fucking demonic episode. Absolutely,
You
I'm
going
going
straight
demon, dude. I mean,
All right.
listen. I understand that Pazuzu was a god and just became indoctrinated into the pantheon of demons. So I'm using the term demon loosely in the sense that that's how the Abrahamic religions now perceive things like this.
Okay.
And that's the culture that we grew up in. So I don't mean demonic to be necessarily evil or fucking Slayer album covers as much as I love it. Just that these are creatures that are from a diabolical realm, for lack of a better term. What else would you be flying in but a fucking big demon dragon wing or something like right out of fucking Fantasia?
All right.
And you're coming just to do heinous shit. You look heinous. You look like classic demons. You have to go with it. I'm not even saying I necessarily believe in demons. Something I've espoused more than once. But if anything's going on here, it doesn't smack of extraterrestrial or interdimensional or anything else to me. It smacks of fucking bizarrely created terror creatures here to do fucking their nefarious shit.
All right, there you go. Thank you for joining us for the Kryptonaut podcast. Again, shout out to our buddy Tom G. Cross the pond there. Actually, I did reference his website here, and it is Bridge to Magonia.
Oh, it is? Oh, I fucked it up.
Which is bridgetomagonia.wordpress.com. The link will be in the description of this podcast.
I
Be sure to
apologize
check-
for steering you wrong.
Be sure to check that out. And let's see, we've got the Instas, the Twitters, the Facebooks.
We do.
The Facebook fan group is there. Check that out. Super awesome stuff being posted. And guys, as always, this episode posted up. What do you think is going on with the weird space Pazuzu alien things or
Totally.
whatever? So check that out. patreon.com/Kryptonaut Podcast. TeePublic, keep your eye on that site because we got some new t-shirts dropping soon.
We do. And
And-
I'm actually really fucking excited about these new
It's-
designs.
Some of the new shit's pretty cool. And we'll be talking with you soon.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Absitronically.
Goodbye.
Stick around for Patreon shoutouts.
Please.
Do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amen.
Bye.
God bless.
Fuck.
All right, here we go with some Patreon shoutouts. Thank you all so very much for supporting our Patreon
You're
campaign.
the fucking best.
Patreon.com/Kryptonaut Podcast. Let's get started with Big Country Innovation.
That is a great name.
That is pretty, actually.
Yeah, I
cool,
love it.
Which is pretty sweet. Robin M. Eggleston and Damian McHales.
Or Michelise.
Is it Michelise?
Nick Michelise, I
Damian
think.
Michelise. Sorry, Damian
think so.
Michelise. All right, Robert.
We're going to continue with Nick Lugo, Matt Moeller, and I might be saying this wrong, Johannes Lindvall?
That's metal as fuck, dude.
Or it's Johannes Lindvall? You know, we're American. You're going to forgive my slip of the tongue. Thank you so much, Mr. Lindvall.
And also, too, as many people have posted on our socials and our Patreon comment section, we are shit when it comes to pronouncing names.
Garbage.
So let's continue with Jared Schaefer, Tyrone Gow, and Holly Nagel.
Well done.
That was
All
dope.
right.
I think you nailed
That was
all
dope.
of them.
Because, I got it.
Thank you all.
All right.
I'm going to continue again with Amber Bushnell, Danny Bowling, and Jonathan Burgett.
Oh, there you go. We are caught up on all of our Patreon shout-outs.
I know.
damn,
I
all
can't
right.
wait till we have more. But honestly, thank you all so fucking much. Like,
Yes.
all bullshit aside, it's so dope. just the way you support us, just the way you're digging it. I mean, it's dope that you're willing to drop some money on it, but it's even fucking cooler that you're just willing to support us above and beyond, and it means the world to us. So
Yeah, thank you all.
Absolutely.
So much. Honestly, you make our world.
Thank you all so very much. And again, be sure to, if you are on the Patreon, be sure to post up there in the Patreon campaign. We've got some episodes up there. Now, the last episode that we released is Elf Sex, and we're getting ready to release our next episode. We're pretty excited about that. So again, thank you all so very much. It means the world to us, and we'll be talking to you soon.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Hey.
Say goodbye.
Sing goodbye. Sing goodbye. But this is a happy goodbye because it's Patreon goodbye.
Quad goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your money goodbye. We appreciate you so very much
Honestly,
goodbye.
Really,
Yeah.
though. I mean,
There you go.
it's
Thank
not
you.
about the money, but holy fuck, the fact that you support us, honestly, it means the world to us.
There you go.
So
All right.
thank you, and final goodbye.
Good night, and God bless.
So long, farewell, Avita, and goodbye.
No, that's perfect. Oh,
keep
that
that.
was, yeah.
See ya.